Hello, and thank you for joining us for Ghost Return to Mourning. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that here in Mohkinstsis, I am on traditional Blackfoot land, including Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai, Nakota First Nations, and Tsuut'ina Nation, as well as Métis Region 3. This is land that Indigenous peoples across the country have fought and continue to fight to protect. The effects of colonialism are still actively present today, and the only way to break the cycle is to begin healing within ourselves. I encourage our audience to think about the ways that we perpetuate colonial violence in our own lives and how we can stop it. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the show.
I remember a young child, young thing, never knew what growing up in that life would bring. I mean, how could she? I understand that a woman and a man don't make a plan, and every second gets harder and harder to take on back onto the start. These children could be brought up feeling unwanted, not needed, not wanted. Yeah, you could say she's lucky, that would be comparing, and I am merely presenting.
Allow me to introduce myself.
The presenter, a present person recollecting a past that presently the events have cast a shadow, a type of disposition on life. Nonetheless, here we are, so listen and listen closely. Keep your heart open and your lips shut as I take you through past the cusp of this young thing's story, vastly growing, born of a woman and a man with no heart between them, but the lives they bore, the lies they told, the lies she told, the lies he told. Broken when the young thing began to breathe, began to be, began to see. Mom and Dad were always fighting. They were always fighting. Since the presenter began to be, began to see, began to scream her origin to paper via writing.
I want to have a conversation with you. I understand it's going to be completely one-sided, just a one-sided conversation where I will be venting a lot. I realize I'll be talking a lot at you, and any questions I do have probably won't be answered. It will be me, Jess, talking to myself, essentially. Talking to silence, talking to a void, talking through these memories I have, these feelings I have. Hello? You may not know me yet, but I have a long and complicated relationship with you. My history has always walked alongside you, even if I didn't realize it. I remember the first time I experienced happiness. The school assignment was to write about your favorite place. I wrote a poem called My Tree. In my tree, I am free to do as I please. I climb to the top, and I dare not stop. It was a hit. When I read it out loud, all my classmates clapped. I like to think the teacher didn't force them. I really wish it was an applause formed of their own volition. Honestly, I had no friends in that classroom or at all growing up. One or two that stuck with me in my early childhood. Maybe because I tried too hard to be liked, or maybe people just didn't like me. It was a lonely time. That is why the claps shocked me. They didn't like me, so how could they like something I wrote? Well, how could they? See, you are just as speechless and baffled as I was. Although I didn't have any friends, I had family. They were always with me as my friends, my social life, my only social life, but so what? They loved me unconditionally, I think. Actually, I don't know. There might have been secret conditions. Anyways, there was this circle of trees that felt like magic to me. They grew in a perfect circle surrounded by all other pine trees. My siblings always climbed tree. My tree was based on climbing trees with my family. The only thing is that poem was a complete lie. I got clapped at for lying. The trees are my favorite place, and my siblings did climb them. I was just always too scared. I tried multiple times, but it was sticky. The sap, the bugs, the length. The trees were fucking tall. I wanted to climb the trees so badly that I wrote about them. I didn't mean to lie. It just sounded so good. The rhymes. And people who didn't like me clapped. It took me lying to get validation. A moment where I felt like I belonged. From grade 1 to grade 6, that was my biggest concern. To be seen and liked by my classmates. To be seen by my mom. To be loved by her. See, that's the thing. While you were always a certainty for where I'll end up at the end of my lifetime, I could spend my entire lifetime uncertain of my mom's love. It's all about perspective. I perceived my mom didn't love me. And like with the trees, I was too scared to tell her what I needed from her. Drugs, alcohol, and emotional abuse was my normal with her. With each bender, she would invite you into her arms and push me out of them. I wanted her love so much that eventually I began repressing 90% of every bad thing she ever did to me because I needed her to love me. I do remember one moment. That 10% memory that stuck with me. I was preventing her from going out to the bar. I must have been 8 or 9 years old. I was tired of spending nights in the apartment worried, so I stood up, blocked the door, and she yelled, hit, and pushed me away. Yet, the physical abuse was never as disheartening as the fact that she wanted to leave us so much that she would resort to violence. My sister came running. I was just tired of spending nights in the apartment waiting. Sometimes she wouldn't even come back. Sometimes I'd have to find my own way back to my dad's and other mom's house. Sometimes they could come and get me. Sometimes it'd be one of my mom's ex-boyfriends or my auntie bringing me and my older sister home. Sometimes she would come back, drunk and begging for forgiveness. And my older sister would take me and lock us in the back room because she was scared of what our mom would do to us. For the longest time, in pursuit of my mom's love, my older sister would come with me to those rare visits to protect me as best she could. I hadn't realized it yet, but my older brother and sister had already given up on getting love from her, quite early, actually. They didn't want to break my heart, so they supported me. What a weight for 2 children to bear. The knowledge that their mom would break their little sister's heart. With a rare friend throughout my early childhood and even rarer moments with my mom, my family were my life and my comfort. My dad, other mom, older brother and sister, younger brother and sister helped me survive the bad because they are good. I never knew stability until I lived with them and felt the warmth of my other mom. Then you came. Allow me to introduce the Young Things family.
One mom, addicted to many things, couldn't be saved, which means Papa must roll. With mortar and bricks, he laid ground for the kids so brave, bringing them hope. I thought you should know he couldn't do it alone till he found a new soul who he loved, and from the oven came out 2 more. She kept them alive, but now there were 5 crying inside to help their babies thrive. He couldn't do it alone. Alone. Whoa. Just like that, she was mom, but not the same one. Yeah, something was wrong. She had to stay numb. Mother and father doing their best till the father's lips felt a cancerous kiss that shook the family, unleashed a calamity. See, cancer was her father, just a new form of torture, a new problem. She focused on often, not just a small one. Not even her own mom could have seen that one. Decidedly she dedicated time to her family. Dad and mom, old and young, sister and brother, family. Young thing couldn't see exactly what was happening. Time for her awakening. These new thoughts kept on creeping in. Decidedly she dedicated time to her family. Dad and mom, old and young, sister and brother, family. Young thing couldn't see exactly what was happening. Time for her awakening. These new thoughts kept on creeping in. Then she began to see the blood she bleeds, soaking in pride. It took over inside. No aim to be selfless, no aim to be helping, no. Young thing's father continued to fight, continued to die. Courage isn't given, that is a lie. She had to fight the demons inside, the demons inside. Keep up the grin, gain courage within. Fam's hearts turned black, then her father would crack, and her dad turned to ash. Yeah, that man was gone now, turned to ash. The love of another turned into a vicious attack. Yeah, that man was gone now, turned to ash. Then she began to see the blood she bleeds, soaking in pride. It took over inside. No aim to be selfless, no aim to be helping, no, no.
I first got to meet you or know of you when my dad sat us down and told us he had cancer. He cried. We all did. Maybe you don't remember that. I mean, why would you? He wasn't dead yet. Not your problem. Suddenly, my perception of what was truly important changed. It was difficult to care about having friends or being loved by my mom. What mattered was my dad beating you, battling you with surgery after surgery, with chemotherapy, with the will to live. I went years without talking to my mom during that time. I stopped reaching out, and there was silence. I was comfortable with that silence. I didn't even realize it was there. I was used to it. Maybe that's why I'm so good at one-sided conversations. I got used to having zero expectations. When my family moved suddenly as my dad was in remission, I realized I had no friends to say goodbye to. I realized that I didn't care. All that made me excited was my dad not being sick anymore, and that I didn't have to deal with peers who didn't like him or me, who didn't care. In this new place we lived, you were there. You were there when my dad sat us down and said, "The cancer is back. The doctors say there is not much we can do. I have 6 months to live." Tears. Again. There was this emptiness in me. I continued to smile, laugh, and joke with my family. But I was never honest about the part of me that was disappearing each time I imagined a life without him. I never told anyone, but every day and every night, I would think of scenarios where you would take him. I couldn't stop thinking, but I could never figure out what it would be like for there to be no dad. As you walked with him, my dad walked with me and would support me anytime I wanted to potentially embarrass myself in front of friends and classmates. Yeah, I had friends. I'm actually likable. Well, sometimes, if I'm being honest. I would try to act and sing. I still wrote poems too, and these poems would turn into songs that you had a great influence over. I still had silence from my mom. But my dad would say, "You have played instruments, acted in plays, sang. All you have to do now is act on TV and be on the radio." He would drive me to every rehearsal and was so proud of me when I got the role of a pink lady in Grease for my high school. My other mom took up the mantle of being our family's sole provider. What a weight to carry with 5 kids and a sick husband. About last year with him was the best and hardest time I have had in my life so far. You took him from me the night before my Grease play opened. Did you know that? I remember my older sister came running after my dress rehearsal, frantic, saying, "Hurry up! Dad's in a coma!" A coma? I thought he was going to be okay. I thought he was going to be able to watch my musical. Watch my older sister graduate. Celebrate my younger sister's birthday. I mean, he had already surpassed the 6-month mark by another 6 months. I remember I was in the hospital room, sitting beside him, while almost every single family member was telling him goodbye and that it's okay to let go. I stayed silent because I was so angry with every single one of them. It wasn't okay for my dad to be taken by you. My heart never hurt as much. It is never broken like it did when his heart stopped beating. With my dad's dead body beside me, I was still able to make family members and family friends laugh by being me. It's something I learned from him. I comforted others. I didn't comfort myself because I was so angry with you, and I didn't want to be angry with my dad for leaving me, even if it was against his will. Or angry with every single family member who made it seem like it was okay for him to let go. I didn't want to be angry when my older brother told all his friends, who told my castmates, who chose to confront me with it when I just wanted to perform something my dad was so proud of without thinking he wouldn't be there. I didn't want to be angry when my other mom and family members chose not to go to my musical anymore. I didn't want to be angry when no one let me speak at my dad's funeral. I didn't want to be angry when I went to thank and comfort mourners who came, and when these people I never knew asked me, "How do you know the deceased?" I didn't want to show my anger when I said, "I'm his daughter." I was angry, but silent. Everyone was hurting and didn't know how to handle you being there. In all of the scenarios I imagined, I never thought that when my dad died, living and breathing family members would become so selfish. I never hated my other mom for making the mistake. I thought, how selfish. I thought, one bad thing doesn't outweigh a lifetime of good. I also know people aren't perfect. I mean, neither of my moms were. I also know my other mom was watching the man she loved slowly die while raising his 5 children. My family broke because my family was hurting. They began to hurt each other and me and my siblings in the crossfire. You have no control over the living, but your influence is there in the aftermath. I never told anyone how disappointed I was at their selfish actions. I told my other mom that I would never forgive her for her mistake, though I didn't hate her for it. I told myself I would never forgive my family for being cruel to me when I didn't even make the mistake. I realized lying is pointless because I forgave my other mom for her mistake immediately, and my family members for theirs, always, after I cried about it. I grieved for my dad every day and wanted to talk about him at every chance. My family couldn't always handle this. I had a hard time talking about my dad in the past tense. After my tears, he was always present tense to me until it made other people confused and uncomfortable. When my older sister left to go to school in a different place, sadness entered. When my older brother left home, trust left with him. Trust of everyone who took him or didn't stop him. This was immediately covered with my need to protect my little siblings who just lost everything like me. The only difference is they had me. I had no one. Smiles, laughter, and jokes and empathy is what I chose instead of inviting you into my heart and leaving with my dad. I wasn't just grieving for him. I was grieving for every living loved one who left. Not physically, but they were gone too. I really questioned if I should go with my dad. You have no control over the living. You have no control over me. As much as I thought that a lot of my family didn't love me anymore, it didn't change the fact that I loved them. When love is right, it beats hate, fear, loneliness. I wanted to hold out for that feeling again. I missed it as much as I missed him. That pure feeling I always got from him. Allow me.
She had had enough, life was rough, she was fighting. Family didn't know why, death was still inviting her to take a seat to the other side behind him. Oh, family couldn't see why the young thing was trying, while all the other ones just float around denying that love and joy and peace are more than dreams for the dying. Oh, hate can't be given, you surrender your heart to a dark cloud of ash. Love is the giver, it's always gonna win and it's never gonna wither. No, 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 no. Little did she know that another one would follow, who lied and cast the blame, which left her feeling hollow. Her mom had really left her a sticky pill to swallow. Oh, young thing was always there till his final breath departed, and after 12 long years her life had all but started. Count to 26 minus 4 newly departed. Oh, hate can't be given, you surrender your heart to a dark cloud of ash. Love is the giver, it's always gonna win and it's never gonna wither. Hate can't be given, you surrender your heart to a dark cloud of ash. Love is the giver, it's always gonna win and it's never gonna wither. Death took her at the end of May, never see her face again. Hidden in dreams, the life we live's not quite as it seems. No, 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 no. Still she is trying not to give up, to give in. She wants to live where light hearts win, where truth and love have a place to begin. So here she is with all this pain left behind, a present gained a new thing's mind without the stains. Hate can't be given, you surrender your heart to a dark cloud of ash. Love is the giver, it's always gonna win and it's never gonna wither. Hate can't be given, you surrender your heart to a dark cloud of ash. Love is the giver, it's always gonna win and it's never gonna wither. No, 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 no.
Mom finally went with you, though, didn't she? I wasn't with her when she died. I chose to keep her out of my life when I entered university because I was too weak to handle her abuse and the stress that comes with competing in the arts. I told myself that when I graduate, I will be stronger, enough to have her in my life with the twisted and sometimes little love she was willing to give. She died that same month I graduated. Heart attack. Before that, the silence was only broken after my dad was gone. On and off, but still I sought her attention and the love she would give me until I couldn't repress and handle the abuse that came with it. For 5 years at university, silence was there when I didn't let my mom be there. I have to live with all the regret I do feel. I didn't go to her funeral because I wanted to grieve and not have to give anyone anything of me, and this was a difficult decision to make. Because my mom's death was nothing like my dad's. I mean, my relationship to my mom was vastly different than my relationship to my dad. My mom and my dad are two very different people. My mom was a troubled person. And she held a lot of pain inside. I never got to have a conversation with her about why she chose to drink and do drugs instead of face the reality she was trying to escape from. Instead of being a mother to me and my older siblings. Such a difficult relationship to navigate at a young age. Family would tell me that regardless of what she did, she is my mom, so I should love and respect her. Always. Always. Even when she was abusive, scary, or just gone. Even when I would cry myself to sleep, scared she didn't love me. Family would say, "You look like your mother," or "You're going to turn out just like her." It was rarely ever meant to be a compliment. So I had to respect and love my mom always, but fear becoming like her with every mistake I made in my childhood. I couldn't trust my mom, and I felt like there was something wrong with me because of it. When she died, my older brother said something like, "She has been dead long before she died." I'm beginning to understand what he meant because I was always reaching for a person who couldn't be there for me. She couldn't even be there for herself. She didn't take care of herself. I suddenly realized that this aching feeling I had inside was just extreme loneliness that can never be resolved because she is gone. Just really gone. Family told me that She loved me in her own way. I don't know if I'll ever believe that, because the aching is still here. If she could have loved herself the way my older brother and sister and I did, maybe family saying I would turn out like her could have been a compliment and a little less confusing.
This road, the lies you told, how I didn't know not to hold hope and the load this love holds. What they say, the contradictions they made when they say I'm gonna be like you. Just an addict like, is that the truth? Am I wrong to be like you? Too young to know what's true. Still they say I gotta love you, respect you, respect you. Give my mama what she's due. Mama, they say it's wrong to turn on you. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Always the young one, they say. You better respect your mama. But you were gone so long, oh, I couldn't see you, I couldn't find you. I died inside each time. The path back to you was never kind. I tried and tried, just cried and cried. These memories, this pain, am I insane? Give my mama what she's due. Mama, they say it's wrong to turn on you. Give my mama what she's due. Mama, they say it's wrong to turn on you. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What did I do to you to deserve these lies? I still got your eyes. I search this lonely silence past the attic to your insides. Why did you die? What do I do? I still love you. Since my mom died, every year until my dad died, I went to countless funerals, so many that I said I was an expert at dealing with you. When my mom died, it was the only death I have ever been selfish with.
You walk with me in my memories I hold most dear. And when I talk about you and what you have done to me, I have felt shamed on multiple occasions, which confuses me. I get why people are scared of you, of acknowledging your existence. But why do the living let you block the dead from being celebrated like they are alive in present tense? Why do the living seem to stop living when you take someone precious from them? I have only ever lived my life, and it has had bad times which I just spewed and let loose onto you. I think you owe me that. It has had good times with my other mom, siblings, new friends. I have tried to heal my relationship to living loved ones who are still alive. To my mom, who's now dead. Dreams with him. Dreams are my connection. A fake reality to reach out in these dreams. You can hold me as I cry. In these dreams, you can hold me as I laugh. Through this world of enchantment, I'm connected. And through this La La Land, I can say, Daddy, I miss you. You like that one? I like to think my writing's getting better. I had a dream about my mom. In the dream, I ran away from her because I couldn't face her, knowing I didn't go to her funeral. One constant in my life, besides you, are the dreams where I get to see those you have taken from me. I know they are real. I've had them since my dad. In the dreams, we acknowledge it's a dream, but realize it's a world where we can be together again. I've met so many departed in them. But my mom is the only person I ran from. I woke up in a cold sweat and immediately forgave her out loud because she is the one person I never forgave. I thought that if I were to forgive her, I would be admitting to all the bad things she has done to me and become too hurt to care and end up losing my love for her. I understand you on such an intimate level in ways I don't understand people. You are my normal. I'm still lonely and longing for people still alive to ask me about everyone you have taken from me. Just letting me know that it's okay to talk about you. Death.
long time coming, felt both fear and pain. Never knew where I was going after losing you that way. But I'll walk a path that open with memories of brighter days. And all I have in my mind is what you used to say. You're gonna make it, 5 anchors holding strong, an angel and children, fixing a world full of wrong and trial after trial, giving them hell and love. No matter what's been lost, 5 anchors will be getting done. You're gonna make it, children that walked with. Now you see, there's a story of a man who stood tall, gave his blood, sweat, and tears for his family. Most of all, lived a life with worry, smiles, laughs, and tears, with wisdom hard to come by and ever-loving care. With big, strong hands, he held his angel and children through. Oh, trial after trial, he showed true. You're gonna make it, 5 anchors holding strong, an angel and children, fixing a world full of wrong and trial after trial, giving them hell and love. No matter what's been lost, 5 anchors will be getting her done. You're gonna make it, you're gonna make it, you're gonna make it, children that walked with. Now there's a story of a man who held truth, smiles, laughs, and worries, 5 anchors to boot. Now this man had a trial, one only he could face. He gave his tears to his family as he told them his fate. He stood tall, big strong hands helping his angel and children not to fall. He stood strong, he held on, he told wisdom, he showed care, he showed truth in saying he wouldn't always be there. But he said, you're gonna make it, 5 anchors holding strong, an angel and children, fixing a world full of wrong and trial after trial, giving them hell and love. No matter what's been lost, 5 anchors will be getting it done. You're gonna make it, you're gonna make it, you're gonna make it, children that walked with me. Now there's a story of 5 anchors standing tall.
I'm still figuring myself out. I am not you, but you are a big part of what motivated me to immortalize my loved ones in this letter. Bits about them, the good and bad. Everything that made me love them and fear not being loved by them. I make people uncomfortable a lot. I'm trying not to have shame about my life anymore. I'm trying not to be quiet about my life because I'm not scared of dying. I'm scared of forgetting, of letting my younger self down by giving into silence. No more silence. I once wrote, "Truth and compassion live in the place of one man and one woman who gave birth to the young thing." I'm trying to become a newer, truer, more compassionate version of myself. Sincerely? No, that's not it. Forever yours. Weirdly romantic. Eventually yours. Young. No. No. New thing.
She had had enough, life was rough, she was fighting. Family didn't know why, death was still inviting her to take a seat to the other side behind him. Oh, family couldn't see why the young thing was trying, while all the other ones just float around denying that love and joy and peace are more than dreams for the dying. Surrender your heart to a dark cloud of ash. Love is the giver, it's always gonna win, and it's never gonna wither. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Little did she know